Turbo Velo, Tuesday night crit in Richardson, Texas. This turned out to be, I think, for me, the most interesting 40-plus Masters race of the year on Tuesday night. And I'll tell you why. It's because of the strategy that was employed during the race by the various teams, but especially Skyline Cadence here in these green kits. And so starting a race, you don't know what's really going to happen in the race, but after the race, of course, you know exactly what happened in the race. Going into this race, we have two people in particular that we have to account for, and that's John Bain on the Cadence team, who wins almost every time he races in the Masters, and he has a lot of skill set here. He can get into all the breakaways. In other words, it's really hard to... he's not going to not get into breakaway because everyone else is too fit and he can't make it. So he can get into breakaways, he can win from breakaways, and he's definitely favored to win in a sprint. And then lastly, he has the biggest team and arguably the strongest team, definitely the most guys in support. So the combination of kind of being the best rider all around, along with having the strongest team, that's a deadly combination for the rest of us. So we're in this race, but we're in John Bain's world, so to speak, and so that's one issue. The other issue here is Tomer. I've mentioned Tomer in my recent videos. I don't see Tomer right here in the picture, but he's on Team No Name and he's wearing the pink pastel kit, and he has a teammate, so there's two of them. He's the one without the dark, long, flowing hair. He doesn't have a lot of hair. He cuts his hair short. But anyway, Tomer, his strength is just his diesel raw power. I wouldn't say diesel is the right word, but his ability to get in breakaways, to be able to go and then go again and go again. He's not favored to win in a bunch sprint, but he is just deadly at breakaways, and he's gotten onto the podium in the in the A race, the Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3, which is an illustration of just how powerful and strong he is. In fact, I really can't really remember somebody advancing like he is advanced, at least not in a long time in the local scene, going from kind of a, guy who's just new to racing and not someone you think about really much at all, to a guy that's on the podium in the A race more than once this year. So that shows his level. So those are the two people in particular to watch out for. Now we do see an attack off the front here. So what makes this race interesting is just attacks after attacks after attacks, but they have a purpose. And the purpose is to wear Tomer out, and this was the strategy of Cadence. So we see three guys going up the road, including a teammate, Bren. So we're okay with that. So this is Tomer. No, this is Tomer on the right, and he doesn't want to see this go away. We see Sam, Brent here in front of me, quickly on his wheel. So this is step one to wear Tomer out that Cadence is doing. Do attack after attack after attack to make Tomer chase this back. And if Tomer initiates his own breakaway, bring it back. Use the power of their team to bring it back. If Tomer is in a breakaway with one other Cadence rider, bring it back. The idea was that he would not be able to go away in a breakaway unless he earned it, unless he fully earned it, without a stacked breakaway of Cadence riders. That was their plan. And we'll see how this plan plays out. So this is what makes it a really, I think, interesting race dynamic. We didn't really have our full squad on Cheney windows and doors. Some guys like Andy were out, and see, Sam tried to pull off a little attack there, but just got the door shot on him. So again, Sam's not trying to win the race right there in that attack. He's trying to initiate the next attack that will hurt Tomer. Tomer's on the front. You see John Bain right there rolling up to him on the left. We just missed him. He's right in front of Brent. He's the one with the hump. Actually, there's more than one hump here. The ice packs for these guys. It's hot out here in August in the Dallas area. So, honestly, I don't really remember where the wind was coming from this time. I think that's Joel. Joel's You know, he jokes around that he doesn't like to get into breakaways. Certainly not a normal MO for him to initiate breakaways or initiate breakaway attempts. But again, rolling off the front, making Tomer react. Pulls off right there. Here's Tomer. It looks like he's putting a dig on the front, but he's just pulling the group. He's not getting away. Tomer, at this point, he knows how to put in a breakaway attempt. You know, he knows that you don't just do a little acceleration off the front. Everyone's going to be on him. You've got to time your attack. You've got to normally come from the back, right? You can't, or at least, you know, the middle. You can't initiate a breakaway attempt very successfully by being on the front. So it looked like there was just another attack that Tomer had to mark, a small one, you know, something that he was easily able to cover. Another factor that goes into this is what is Tomer's teammate able to do in terms of marking things. And again, we saw Sam going up on the left on Cadence, and Tomer getting right in front of him and initiating a little bit of an effort here that's making us hurt. Unfortunately, my power meter battery was dead and unable to give you any power data on this particular ride, which is a bummer for me because I did a little effort at the end that I would have liked to have seen what the power was. It would have at least reset my exert metrics. I believe when you do an all-out effort after not doing one for a long time, it can reset your signature. So I would have liked to have seen that, but oh well. Sorry about that. Sorry for me. I know you guys don't really care, but I don't care that much either. Here's Adam, my teammate, number 71 on the right. And just look how many green jerseys there are here. So we only had a squad of 4. Bren, myself, Adam, and Jorge, who's about 3 riders up on the right there. Can't really see what's going on in the front here, just where I am in the back, but we see, I think that's where Kato did attack off the front. He's by himself. You saw him look back. Kato on Pegasus. And he's dangling out there, a little bit of a gap. You know, he doesn't have a really big team out here. So Cadence is not needing to respond or wanting to respond. Just kind of like, you know, watch it. See what's going on. I would say from the strategy of Cheney, Windows, and Door, we didn't discuss a strategy. Cadence actually discussed a strategy. Our strategy, you know, for me, I would think a good scenario for us would be to have, say, Adam or one of our other riders in a breakaway with Tomer. And of course, Bane would have to be in that breakaway too if we did that. We didn't game out any kind of strategy if it came down to a sprint finish, but we'd try to work that out as we go. And we see the rider still by himself off the front. I think that's Kato on Pegasus. So what is Tomer going to do? What are the Cadence boys going to do? And John Bain is definitely in charge of these Cadence guys. He's the alpha. He sets the tone. He literally tells them what to do in the race. I don't know if we'll be able to see it on video, but there was one moment that I noticed, and there's probably more than one, but just one I noticed where Bane is like third wheel and he throws his hand up, motioning forward, which means next guy, attack. And the attack is to, again, put Tomer in the hurt locker. So we see Cadence bridging the gap here to the Pegasus rider, which I believe is Kato. And there I think we see Tomer trying to put in an attack from the front. Again, if you watch NorCal Cycling, you know you don't attempt to do a breakaway from the front. It's less effective. And guys are motivated to chase. They're not going to just let Tomer go away. Tomer has proven that he can ride away from the entire group. He could potentially win solo. Can't let him ride away. And if he's in a breakaway, it has to be the exact right makeup. So, Tomer's probably thinking in prior races, when I do that kind of effort, there's someone from Cadence who gets on. Maybe someone from Cadence sits up. A gap forms. Maybe we have a good makeup with the Cheney, Windows, and Door rider. We have a 3-man break, and the rest of the group lets that break go. That's happened we have our guy that we want in the break and we have Tomer in the break, we'll live with it. We'll see. Maybe we can beat Tomer in the sprint from the break. We see Tomer again having to go on the front. And I think one thing that really impressed me about Tomer in this particular race was how many times he could chase this stuff down over and over and over. I'm exhausted just being on wheels, not doing anything. Tomer, I swear, I don't know how many digs he put in and efforts he put in this race. It's a testament to how much more powerful he is compared to almost everyone in the field right now, that he could do that many efforts over and over and over. Not good, if it was me, I'd have done one and I'd have been cooked, or two. But this is just I think a real interesting, is masterclass too strong a word? Interesting strategy that Cadence has put together, and they discussed this. This was their plan going into the race, and the reason I know this is because I was told afterward, not because I'm just surmising it. So there you see Bane up there. He throws up his hand. Go attack. Go attack. And where's Tomer? Here on the left in the pink and pastel. Here we have my teammate Jorge going up. Tomer's looking back like, hey guys, is it my turn still to pull this back? What am I supposed to do? What are you guys going to do? And so we have Cheney, Windows, and Door, and Cadence up ahead. Tomer feels obligated to bring this back, and again, not calling out his teammate, but theoretically it'd be nice if his teammate was able to do that for him and give him a little bit of a rest. Or perhaps one of the riders from the other groups. But, the smaller teams, the one-offs, the persons that don't have any teammates or just one teammate, they're observing these dynamics, and they're happy to let Tomer pull all of this back, even if they aren't represented in the break. Here I am, just in the back, observing, resting, trying to conserve my energy. And perhaps there's a moment I can do something. I only want to use my energy in a way that is definitive, that helps the team. In the meantime, I will bide my time. However, see Bane's hand goes up again. Hey, another attack. I think we'll see something on the right here. Here we go. Boom. Oh. So, you can't really see it on camera there, and I shouldn't laugh. I'm sorry, Brent. Brent there on the right was putting in an attack, and then there was just pop. And Jorge on my team said, hey, I think you broke a spoke. Well, it turned out after the race that it was worse than a broken spoke. He broke his chainstay on his X-Works bike. That's a new bike from this year. 61 centimeter S-Works. Not used to that kind of power. It structurally could not handle it. And I believe it was the right chainstay, just carbon chainstay snapped. I think this is Eddie on the right, on Cadence, putting in another dig for Cadence. Again, something that maybe Tomer feels like he has to react to. Maybe not, but we see that he is reacting. That could be Tomer's teammate. Hard for me to tell, but Tomer's teammate's probably thinking, hey, I need to get up here and help if I can, because Tomer's doing a ton of work. I do think that's actually Tomer. I asked Tomer about his progress, and I think I may have mentioned this in one of the other videos. I talked to him maybe, a month ago, and asked him about this jump in form that he's had that's been really remarkable. He said this is the first year that he's really stuck to a structured plan for his fitness and Trainer Road, as it were. And this is not an advertisement for Trainer Road. I get no money from anyone, but gosh, it's a good advertisement for Trainer Road. That going from just doing group rides and doing whatever, and probably I think putting in a lot of volume, but actually having specific workouts related to his goals. I think it's made a difference for sure. Don't see Tomer on the same group rides that I used to see him. All right, so we're about 15 minutes in, and This has been a hard ride so far just because it's not settled in. There are these frequent attacks and jumps and having to respond, which makes things tiring. And so again, we see attacks going up the road. Got two teammates right here in front of me and a third teammate up ahead. Guys, Tomer has to respond to this. And again, putting in these digs while everyone is resting, so to speak, behind him. Or is this a cadence rider bringing back this rider up ahead? We also sometimes have lapped riders, so it can be a little bit hard on the video to tell who's up ahead. But I do believe that there is a rider up ahead that's not a lapped rider. We'll see, but this rider's coming back anyway. Alright, here's Tomer's teammate on the left, moving up, get in position to help him. Here's Sam on the right. Sam made a nice video of this ride, and I do intend to put a link to his video, both front and rear view, in the description for this particular video. Jimmy on my left, again, firepower of this team. Cadence, you know, it's rough racing against guys that have such a strong team with such strong numbers, especially when they're all united together for one purpose. Sometimes big teams have a hard time with that because not everyone's on board of showing up at the race and putting a plan together that is structured around really around one rider. Now, I'm sure that, you know, if there was a super stacked breakaway and John Bain wasn't in it, I don't think John Bain would be crying about that at all. He'd be happy that his guys got some great results. But generally, overall, the strategy for Cadence when John Bain is here is to support John Bain. Him being, like I said, the best all-around, fastest rider in the group, at least today. We have some other really fast riders that race masters, but they are not in the race today. And when those guys come out, like Patrick Breen and others, Matt Stevens, previously won Dirty Kanza, it's, you know, these guys are really, really, really fast. When they come out, again, that shakes things up in their own way on the basis of their particular strengths and styles and strategies. Why have I not been involved in the attacks? I guess one, indecision. Number two, not seeing a great opportunity laid out in front of me. Number three, not being entirely sure that it's tactically wise for me to be in a breakaway. Can I stick a breakaway? Can I not get dropped if I'm in a breakaway? You know? Would a sprint finish be fine and suit me? Yeah, definitely. In general, if I'm racing for myself, a sprint finish would be ideal. So, or, you know, or a, if I was in a break, if I was rested enough to sprint and I was able to stay on the whole time. It looks like this, is this Tomer on the front again, or is a teammate? Not sure. Here's Eddie on our left, and I believe this is Kato right in front of me. Anyway, we see the two no-name riders, first and fourth wheel up ahead. And let's see, we're 8 miles in, 19 minutes in. I'm sure some guys here are feeling some fatigue, a little bit of fatigue here, but on the other hand, you know, we've been riding together as a group. There's been plenty of drafting available to almost all of us, and it's not like super strong wind that we had the week before where people were riding in the gutter, and it's really, you know, when someone just goes all out in the gutter, it is really tough to hang on. Someone's putting in, you know, 500-600 watts, and you can't get any draft. Whew. That can take it out of the legs quite quickly. Again, an attack on the front, and it was just like this over and over and over. This is not the usual thing that happens in our race. This is very unusual. Most of the time a breakaway goes away because it's suited towards the main teams that show up. A breakaway with Tomer, one of the best riders on Cadence and one of the best riders on Cheney windows and door. That's often something that people say, okay, we'll let it go. And then it's up to the guys that aren't on teams or don't have any teammates to decide what they're going to do about that. For their sakes, hopefully they are in the breakaway. Here we see a little bit of a gap open up. So again, strong enough that guys are peeling off, a gap's opening up. But Cadence's thing here is that they're not going to let anything get away with Tomer and just one rider. Doesn't matter who the rider is, their plan was Tomer does not get away with one Cadence rider in a break. At the very least, if he gets away, it's got to be a stacked break where we feel like we have a huge advantage. Having said that, Tomer's already proven he can win from a stacked break. There was a race, I guess it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, where we had 2 of our riders on Cheney windows and door and 2 Cadence riders and Tomer, so 5 people in the breakaway. He attacked those 4 riders and rode away from them and won. Even in a stacked breakaway, he can win. Now, John Bain wasn't there that day, so different story. John Bain's in a breakaway of 5. He's going to be favored to win that breakaway, no doubt. But pretty interesting, Not something I was necessarily expecting. But kudos to Tomer for getting fast and fit enough and smart enough in his racing tactics that the team was planning their tactics around him. I think that's one of the biggest compliments that a person can have. I don't know how he felt after this race. We'll see. I'm not going to give away the finish of this race, but I wonder how he felt after this race. Maybe he didn't feel good. I don't know. I guess that's foreshadowing. If he didn't, at least he could take away, man, those guys really worked me over, and that's a compliment that the strategy was designed to work him over. Now he has to think how he could have played it a little bit differently. Now this isn't a very long race, as you can tell from the length of the video, which theoretically I should shorten and edit and all that stuff, but I don't care enough to do that. It takes time and effort. And yeah, so this is a short race, short, hard efforts. Oftentimes it's early enough on a Tuesday that I really don't have time to get warmed up. So the warm-up is actually the race itself. And hopefully you're not too exhausted after about 23 minutes. And you're able to be in full flight towards the end of the race. I guess I need to start paying attention to the lap cards, see how many laps are remaining. I was paying attention during the race, but I haven't been paying attention in the commentary. Sometimes after a lot of these attacks and you're getting towards the end, you start to get the feeling that an attack is not going to be successful, and perhaps we are settling in for a sprint finish. But a sprint finish really favors Cadence. They have so many riders. They have a couple really good sprinters and guys who are great sprinters just slightly one level below those guys, and their setup guys and everyone else that it's really hard to beat Cadence in a sprint. And I would say with the level that John Bain is at, even if he didn't have any teammates and it was a sprint finish, he would be by far favored to win the sprint even without teammates. So that just shows you the predicament that everyone else is in with regard to defeating Cadence in a sprint finish. Oops, I missed the lap cards again, not paying attention. My bad. We were missing Ryan from this race. Our teammate. Would have been great to have him here for this race. I think it would have helped a lot. but he was preparing for track nationals, and because I'm recording this a few days after this race occurred, I can be one of the first to say that those guys on my team that went to track nationals, I think 4 of them are coming back with national champion jerseys, including Ryan again for the 2nd year in a row, Andy, who races out here, and Joe McCracken, who many of you who watch these videos know, who has moved away and isn't racing out here in the Tuesday Night Crit this year, but many of you know him. So congratulations to all those guys. Ryan needed to take care of running the crit, and I'm sure was prepping for the track nationals, maybe rest or whatever. But it would have been nice to have him here for the purpose of this race, but bigger fish to fry sometimes. And congratulations to all those guys who will be soon wearing the fringed bands, stars and stripes forever on their jerseys. How cool is that? In our race here, we have Adam. I've pointed him out before in the race, but he's just ahead of me. Of my 3 teammates in the kind of purple and yellow, he's the one that's furthest ahead, just ahead here. So I think we're getting close to the end, and I know that this is going to be a sprint finish at this point. Let me see if I can see the lap cards. I think this might even be the last lap. Is this the last lap? Let's see. I think that said 1. And so this is where I'm in the back. I see my 3 teammates here. It's going to be a sprint finish. Now I'm thinking to myself, I'm back here. Maybe I should sprint for myself. I have been sitting in. I haven't covered any attacks. I haven't made an attack. I'm as rested as I could be for as hard as this race has been. Maybe I should go for my placement. I'm not in great position right now, but maybe if I get a lift, my teammates move up, I could be in great position and put in a dig here. So I had to make a decision of what to do. Oftentimes in the past I have done a lead out for my teammates, and so that's the sort of conundrum that's going on in my head. And I made the decision to lead out my team. So I'm telling Jorge, jump on my wheel. I'm telling Brandon, jump on my wheel. And I'm telling Adam here, jump on my wheel. My 2 teammates, Brandon and Jorge, did jump on my wheel. And unfortunately, I didn't know at the moment that Adam did not. I'm glad this rider here didn't swing all the way to the right, thank goodness. But my goal right here is to get to the front and take away the Cadence lead out train so that we're controlling the front. We have the placements going fast enough that no one can really get ahead of me, and we're locking in the placements behind me as a lead out train. And I've gotten fierce criticism for not being in the drops. Sorry guys, I should have been in the drops. And going around the turn here, and this is where the lactic acid is just starting to kill me right here. And I'm expecting the group to blow by me here. I've done my job at the lead out as far as I would expect. And 4 riders pop off here. There's Bren in first place. Then we see John Bain on the left. Just boom, he jumps, gets to the front easily. And 4 riders, 2 on my team. And I was like, where's the rest of the group? And so I started pedaling again, like I could get maybe 5th place for whatever reason. Tomer passes me right here. But the rest of the guys just, did they get blown away? Did they sit up? Whatever, some combination of that. And so I get 6th. My teammates get 3rd and 4th. Jorge 3rd. Awesome that he could be on the podium. Brent 4th. 6th. So I think a good team result for us for, the sprint finish. Unfortunately, Adam did not get on. I think we had the potential to get 2nd if we had done things maybe a little different. No shade on Cato. Happy for him that he was able to get a 2nd place. And, of course, congratulations to John Bain and his team for really a masterpiece and masterclass in team tactics. Sorry, Tomer, but the ultimate praise or respect is that when people game plan around you. So I thought it was a really, really fun tactical race. And sorry that when the month is ending here in August and all the races will be done. But I'm just starting to get back some form. I was really happy with the effort I did in terms of the power I laid down, and I think I actually did blow it up, and so that was good. but of course we'd like to get first place, but really hard to do. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. This might be the last Masters video for me for the rest of the year, depending on how things go on the 20th. But anyway, we'll see you guys. Bye.